this cartoonist does have a point. Cackling Kamala is a repulsive individual, even if she does not want to be construed as such. President Trump should not have to lower himself to debate her where she is at. But that is the best way to expose all of her lies before the American people. President Trump could live the rest of his life in splendor, but he is doing all of this for us. Apparently this artist is unaware of one very simple fact. The Gold Star families asked him to do this. It is hard to say that you are disrespecting the memory of a fallen soldier if their families invited you to be there. But then again, cartoonists like this just look for new ways to attack President Trump. For reasons. Why is President Trump speaking to Democrats? Americans, Republicans see jobs as more valuable than imaginary climate change. Even Cackling Kamala has agreed to stop her ban on fracking. Granted, the ban will go back in place as soon as she is in the Oval Office, but I digress. The Russia collusion narrative continues even though there is still no proof. Hillary Clinton started the scare and she still lost. Moving on, the Russians did buy ad space on Facebook, but they bought both pro-Trump and pro-Clinton ads. The purpose was not to elect Trump, but to sow discord in the American people. And that was a complete success. The election was stolen as ballots came in at 3 in the morning. There was a person who died from a heart attack a few days later, but a few days later is not January 6th. And finally, the lowest prices and inflation in a long time before the China virus was unleashed. And then Brandon took credit when the jobs came back. Is there any evidence for the Russia collusion this time? Any evidence at all? I am waiting. Since there is none, we will move on. Let me break Mr. Pet's baloney down a bit. Yes, getting your news from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and many others, with their misleading ads, scare tactics, and false equivalencies, is very dangerous to our republic. Well, when everything goes poorly, the press secretary blames President Trump. And when everything goes right, Brandon is given credit. You cannot have it both ways. Good point. Let us build the wall to keep out the Venezuelan gangs with said weapons, who kill cops and take over apartment buildings. We need to deport them and build a wall to keep them out. So they killed the same people who let them into the building, and who gave at least one a tour? Something about that does not add up. Exactly. Why is the military-industrial complex so interested in Ukraine, when Americans care about Americans? Mr. Pett just loves his baloney. Well, I do not care much about Martha Stewart anymore, to be honest. Granted, I never cared very much because I was a child at the time, but I digress. President Trump just has imaginary charges against him. Whatever Clinton made up, whatever the deep state falsified, is what the media will run with. First of all, books are not being banned. If you really want pornographic materials in school libraries, you should not be anywhere near children. And I do not think that we should be banning phones either. Moreover, weapons are already banned in schools. There are all of those gun-free zone signs. The criminals obey such signs and never commit their evil acts. Oh wait, criminals do not care about laws, but do it anyway. I am sure that there are students who will bring these books, and students who will bring their phones. That is because those that break the rules do not care about the rules. That is human nature. Let me break Mr. Bowling's gibberish down a bit. Why would you still be wearing that costume in 2024? Obviously to conceal your identity. Generally, people who conceal their identity in public have something to hide. Sorry, Mr. Bowling, but there is no reason to believe that the police would arrest either of these men, especially since neither has burned down a building. They might be one of those that are peacefully protesting. The whole good people on both sides that President Trump mentioned, that Snopes only recently admitted was misconstrued. Mr. Bowling just loves his gibberish.